have the ability to get
So
you
do
in.
I feel sorry for them? Now,
You, you don't feel sorry for them.
Americans. Ukrainians, it's their country.
It's their country. How do you feel? I feel like I was in awe by how everybody came together, and the men, even though they were
That's
restricted
wonderful.
from leaving, I've never seen that many people come together.
No,
But
but
how long do you think, Mr. P will keep this up here? We got the convoys right now. The convoys are they're basically at a standstill, but they're about 4 miles long, is what I'm
it's very
hearing.
difficult to say because he's not driven by practicalities, by conducting a manageable war.
And
That's
by
not what
by
he's
him
after.
by him you're speaking of Mr. P.
Putin.
Oh, okay.
And his thinking is totally irrational,
Yes.
and he doesn't care if
Now this is
he
just
doesn't
me.
care if every person. He's just like Kim Jong-un. He
Yes,
doesn't care if every person in his country starves to death.
I think that's why.
Putin's going to do what Putin's going to do.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people that used to be possibly our president
What annoys me is
likes
the world
him.
can't do anything about it. First of all, they say that we can't sanction the oil industry in Russia because it will affect the world oil market.
Mhm.
Fine. So Americans have to pay a couple of more dollars at the pump. Fuck this country and Europe for dealing with him in the first place.
So
The other thing that could happen, remember Trump going over to Saudi Arabia?
I
They
remember that.
rolled out the red carpet to give him that big cartoon medal
Yeah.
thing around his neck
Yeah.
so they could stroke his fucking ego. And then he sold hundreds of billions of dollars worth of armament to them.
Yeah.
And he was so happy because, there's money to be made here.
And those weapons are going to be used against us, right?
If we were to shut, if the world, Europe and America, the world generally, were to completely shut Russian oil off, the Saudis, if they were our friends, which they are not, they're the ones that knocked over the World Trade Center, the Saudis could make it up completely. They could make up all the oil that Russia puts into the world oil market, and they could do it in a Bronx minute. They don't do it because they love the fact that oil's going through the roof. They're making a fortune.
Yeah.
They're our friends, though. These are our allies.
They're members of NATO.
These are our members of the Abraham Accords. These are the people that the Republicans just love. The Saudis.
The Saudis.
That's one of the worst, corrupt, fucked up regime on
Now,
earth.
now,
And
are they talking about backing what Russia's doing in Kyiv?
they're not even saying anything. They're just raking in the money because oil's going through the roof.
And that's where our oil is
But
coming
the
from.
point is, we could shut Russia off completely. The only thing Russia produces is energy. We could shut Russia off completely and completely destroy him if the Saudis said, we're going to step up and we're going to replace every drop of oil, every drop of gas that disappears because you shut Russia off.
Yeah, and
Are they going to do that?
And even blew some parts up. Remember that?
Don't tell me how wonderful the Saudis are.
Yeah.
Trump's over there smiling and being wined and dined. They rolled out a red carpet.
Yeah, I seen the red carpet.
Cartoonish metal.
Yeah, it was very cartoonish. But after these few months, few years, a couple years here on this earth, or here in America, I think there's nothing we haven't seen at this point. We're really not surprised at anything.
Well, you shouldn't be surprised if you know anything about history generally. This is how human beings behave.
Yeah.
But
then you can go way back to when some people, the old adage was, people, this is the way it was supposed to go. Da, 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 da. It's written in history. I don't believe things are written in history. I think there's things that can be done in history, but it starts with whatever's happening now. So whatever we do today, possibly may dictate what we do tomorrow.
It's not
gonna be a repeat. The beginning of our morning and the middle of our afternoon is gonna dictate what we do at night, and then the same thing for backwards.
But it's pathetic that the world cannot corral this greed.
Do you think? And one of the biggest things I think about President Putin is that maybe he got a health scare or something.
You know, I've said that, and other people have said it too. He may have terminal cancer or something.
Yes.
And he wants a splash before he goes.
Yeah, he wants us. He wants a big splash, and I don't believe at this particular time he's looking at his military as humans. Because they.
He just sees them as servants.
I mean, I don't even see bodies being collected. These are torsos
You're
and
not going to.
and legs and arms and just laying all over the road, and nobody's there for collection. And it's like this is the war they send them to, and everybody that they get on camera, obviously they want to say great things because they don't want anything bad to happen to them. But the Russians that have been captive and prisoners of war now, and they're saying that they don't know why they came there. They were told they were doing practices, and before you know it, they were doing the real thing.
I've heard that his army doesn't even know why they're there.
Yeah, why they're there. Yeah, but
some of them being told these are just exercises.
But does that reflect anything that we've done in our country? When we went some places and the platoon not know where we were,
absolutely.
Like Korea. Yeah.
Well, that's why we don't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Putin is invading Ukraine with no damn right to do it. We invaded Iraq and Afghanistan with no damn right to do it.
No,
and
not at all.
bombed the shit out of both of them.
Yes.
So, what the fuck are we saying?
Yeah,
we said it's in our national interest. We're defending our country. That's what Putin's saying.
Yeah.
It's in his
natural interest. And to quote unquote,
is a threat to Russia.
And quote unquote denazify Ukraine. Now, I don't know personally, to my knowledge, of any Ukrainians, but I do know energy when I feel it. And something about that new Ukrainian energy, I just feel like if my car ran out of gas or something, that I don't know whose door I would knock on first, because everybody seems pretty much untrustable. They got that pale look about them. Everybody's
knock
pale.
On whose door for what?
Just if you were in Kyiv, so to speak. They just don't look like the friendliest of people. Nothing wrong with them. Nobody deserves to die. I'm just talking about in the aspects if there were never any war, and I moved to Kyiv randomly, and I went outside. What would I experience?
Well, they behaved badly in the Second World War. Exposes water under the bridge.
Yeah, and they're not. Who isn't treating a particular race bad? I heard there, people with my color shoes. Basically they were kicking them right off the train immediately. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was a Kyiv resident staying first or.
And the only reason Poland and Hungary and Moldova, I don't know, all these bordering countries, they're standing there with open arms because these are white Christians, Ukrainians, by and large. The ones that aren't, they're not too happy about.
White Christians.
And there are a lot of black Ukrainians, because when the Soviet Union possessed Ukraine until 1990, whatever it was, the Soviet Union invited black Africans to come and settle in Ukraine.
By invite.
What their motives were, I don't know.
By invite, you don't mean stuff them in a boat and take them against their will, do you?
Invited them, and they became Ukrainian citizens. And these are second and third generation Ukrainians that have African heritage or black.
Yeah.
And now Europe is not welcoming them as much into Poland or Hungary in the same way that they're welcoming white Christians.
Is
Muslims are getting the same treatment.
Is this what happens?
Like Muslims,
yeah. Is this a habit like in the country to just basically to almost just point the finger at somebody else, just
well, that's human nature.
Just like, well, it's not our fault, that fault. And like if what's his face, if President Biden wouldn't have not did what he did, they would have said what happened about possibly America being first, as he pledged that he would be about, and so did Trump. And now that everybody's saying, Now everybody's saying that America's coming first. Everybody got this shit to say, like this wouldn't have happened under his watch. Well, to me, I think he's such a powerful person. That president of that country, I think he's such a powerful person that you know the parallels of Donald Trump working in Hollywood and the president of Ukraine being in Hollywood, I wouldn't pass it if Putin, got both of those assholes in office because he thought they were both pushovers,
I don't think so.
because they came from Hollywood. This guy played a president.
Zelensky was elected because
He played a president.
well, and because
Like, what's the odds of that? Come
he
on.
was fourscore against the corruption in Ukraine. Ukraine had a lot of Soviet style.
I'm just saying, what I'm saying is we already got it clarified from what the news is telling us that the elections were tampered with by Russia. Okay.
So you think Russia wanted an idiot?
What I'm saying is I think Putin has both of those guys wrapped around his finger. I don't know. Zelensky puts on a good act, but once again, he's an actor.
Putin has all sorts of hit squads out to kill.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. But what if he didn't? The Americans are stupid enough to believe it, and other countries would be stupid enough to fund it.
Now you're into the realm of
I'm just saying, hiring or having something to do or being in the same story as a person who got into the office by popular vote and by, from what the CIA said, by help of Russia. That same person that helped Donald get in, from what I hear, helped this Ukrainian guy get in. They came fresh out of Ukrainian Hollywood. So what's up with what's up with?
An unformed idiot from Hollywood.
No, but what's up with Putin and Hollywood? Did he put them in place so they can be invaded? Did he put them in place so they could be taken advantage of? Did he put them in place so they can proverbially redraw the map? Why?
You're down a rabbit hole. Zelensky is being very noble. He isn't even getting his family out of there.
Well, we don't know what he's doing. Let's be real about that before we go on. We're Americans. It's horrible in Ukraine, but
Biden offered to get him out.
Listen.
And Zelensky said, "I don't need a ride." He said,
Yeah, I need ammunition. And that's a great post and good. That'd be a great post.
No, you're in a rabbit hole with this thinking.
No, I just think it's a great post, but expect the unexpected. Especially when it's not happening in this country. No country is going to be completely transparent. We're never going to be completely transparent with our citizens because it will send us into disarray. Yeah. So there's no reason for military to be transparent about how many people died on either side. Everybody wants to basically say, my working at what do you call it? My helping this war out, or me being a part of this war is presumably noble, yet I don't understand that, or the real reasoning behind me shooting what they're doing. They're shooting people that look just like them.
Why nobody can stop it. I know he has nuclear weapons. That's why Kim Jong-un wanted them. That's why Iran wants them. That's why Pakistan has them. That's why Indonesia has them. Israel, England, you can go down the list. Because the only people we will leave alone and are afraid of are people with nuclear weapons.
Yeah, I think America did a great job at painting Putin as a very scary person.
Well, it isn't hard. Have you seen him when he meets with his people?
Did you see him snap on his guy?
30 yards away from him.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're dirty. Don't trust me.
He's way at the end of this. I think he may be
in that Hitler stage or something.
Maybe he's getting chemotherapy and he's very susceptible to.
Or he's getting amphetamines. Or he's getting amphetamines. Amphetamines that's like a syrup on your pancakes in the military.
This distance is unbelievable.
Yeah, I've seen it. The long tables,
He's
either
afraid of disease or he's paranoid.
He's paranoid. He's losing his shit. They said he only talks to like one or two people, and then those people are looking at him crazy.
Listen to anybody.
Have you seen the pandemic do well for anybody? I mean, just type in pandemic mayhem. Everywhere you look, if it's not one of mine, it's one of yours. Going nuts, And it's like people just need to calm down and realize you only control what you control. And I knew that when the doc said they didn't want to bring my mom back alive. So it's like when you realize you don't control anything, and you got,
And the Ukrainians, like most people, when Putin was contributing to the uh, genocide in Syria, helping out Bashar al-Assad, they just went on with their lives. Let's go to the tea house and let's have a donut. And so the Ukrainians didn't say anything about what Putin was doing in terms of the genocide in the Middle East. Did he care? Did they care? No. They didn't even care when he completely surrounded their country with all this armament. They said, well, we've been putting up with this for
8 years.
Since the dissolution of
8 years ago.
Well, even 30 years since the dissolution of the Soviet
Empire. Oh, well, shit.
So we've always been threatened. We're not worried about it. Are you worried about it now?
Yeah, I think you might be. And I seen some of those clouds, and some of those clouds from those explosives look at like atomic, not atomic, but almost the ones that give off cancerous vibes, the mushroom clouds, stuff like that. Hopefully, for the sake of Ukraine and the second.
Cluster bombs, which are they keep talking about the Geneva Convention. I don't know if Russia is a signatory to the Geneva Convention. Maybe
I think nobody knows anything over there unless they run it past the Kremlin.
But you can't run it.
He's been in office for 22 years.
He doesn't care about the Kremlin. He doesn't care about the Duma.
He being who?
He's an autocrat, Putin.
Putin.
He doesn't give a shit what his Duma says.
No, he doesn't.
Congress is.
He's the baddest gangster I've ever seen. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And, I'm sure both sides think they're right. Both sides believe the other's wrong. But
the other thing, he's got this bomb.
Yeah.
What it does is there are two parts to it. The first part, the bomb explodes and it sends this gas into every little area and crevice of a large part of a city. And it absorbs
it sucks the oxygen out of you.
It sucks the oxygen out of every little crevice and place.
Yeah.
The next bomb goes off.
Boom.
And that blows up every hiding place and building and once again.
And that was one was an apartment building, one was a hospital. These are all places that you're not supposed to be engaging in when in war, is my understanding. But I also understand that they can use something like, hey, well, insurgents, if you will, were hiding inside of these facilities, which made us have to engage and blah, 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 But I think it's an atrocity. And, you can't really be surprised at anything. I think I am grateful that we live in this country, and this country has decided to put us first.
Grateful. We're just lucky.
No, I won't say lucky's different. Lucky means, okay, I call it lucky ball. Now, being grateful of catching that lucky ball is a whole other ball game. You can catch balls all day.
Grateful for whom?
To the moment, the universe for letting you to the moment of you being able to catch this baseball at a high fly. You got to be grateful for that moment, or those moments will become obsolete. No, they will become obsolete. If you don't take advantage of those moments, they don't exist. If they don't exist, they don't happen. You get where I'm going?
No.
Live in the moment, John.
2 million cats in this country are euthanized.
2 million cats are euthanized in this country.
2 million every year.
In the country of the United States?
And then there are cats that are very well taken care of.
Yes.
Look at my cat Chase. He had a nice life. They took care of him.
Yeah.
Did Chase do anything to deserve that? No.
No.
He just got lucky. It's
well,
like a mirror.
I would say it's a point of perspective.
No, it's not.
It's a point of perspective. I would not say me hitting the dirt is lucky at all. I don't give a fuck if it's fucking raining fucking mushroom clouds. Fuck no, I don't want to die ever. But my whole thing is,
That's right, you're not into death.
No, never have, never will be. But I'm not afraid of it. But one of the things I do know that, I am well more active in other realms, and things are more active in other realms than we know about. Most of the things that sound corny and or confusing.
Hitler rolled over the entire continent of Europe I mean, every country in Europe he rolled over, and we ignored it.
Did we?
Let him do it.
Did we?
Yes.
But you know what the American way is. You
And then
you have to see it to
suddenly we
notice it.
decided, because the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor,
Uh-huh.
now we decide we have to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the agreement of the armistice, I mean
Is that the
the
NATO?
armistice after World War I, Germany wasn't allowed to arm.
They weren't allowed to
And
arm.
Europe just sat there and let him arm. We did nothing, of course. We said then, like a lot of people are saying now, what do we care about Ukraine? And America said, what do we care about Europe? We don't want to get involved in their damn wars. Hitler rolled over the entire continent of Europe. And then suddenly, because somebody drops a few bombs on Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
we decide we have to go to Europe. That was 1942. The war had been going on for 3 years already.
So what do you think would have been a more logical response by our side for instead of what they did?
They knew how dangerous Hitler was. Just observing World War I.
Well, Pearl Harbor
should never have been allowed to arm.
Pearl Harbor and Hitler had nothing to do with each other, right?
It got us into the war. That's what it had to do.
Okay. Because I thought
we were attacked by Japan.
But Hitler never was like voted into power or anything. Excuse my ignorance if he was. He was. I didn't know that.
Democratically.
So Hitler was a Democrat.
No, but he was voted into office.
Oh, by
just like Donald Trump was.
But he's an independent.
By the people of Germany, they voted him into office.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No climb up from the bottom from KGBD or whatever. They gave it to him. They gave him an extra key. Here's a key in case you lose that one. It's a perfect key, I promise. I've used it multiple times. I don't let Melania use it, but it's a perfect key. It's a perfect key, I promise. You know, if my daughter wasn't my daughter, I'd sleep with her, but she's my daughter, so I'm not going to sleep with her. But if we did, it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
Watch something funny, Tommy Kim.
Ooh. I want to just watch something funny. I look at my net worth, and that's a laugh for you.
And he goes out Don Jr.
You know what's up with Cuomo? When they bringing back Cuomo, we need to start a petition. Bring back Cuomo, or there will be no more people tuning in. I think he will.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's far too wealthy for the shit that's going on.
Chris and Andrew.
They told him to go chill out somewhere, and
they'll emerge. Don't worry.
But CNN is not the same without Cuomo. You got Don Lemon, his dry skin. If Vaseline or Carmex don't hit that man up for a fucking sponsorship deal, yeah, he looks like he's 3 days into rigor mortis every time he comes on my screen. And you have to pick a face. You have to pick a face to make while another person is talking. Now, I would assume, since you've been on there for multiple years, you have your face picked out. Mr. Lemon doesn't. This guy, he smirks. He'll do the duck lip thing. Yeah. It's like, will somebody hand him some Johnson & Johnson and lotion that dry-ass face of his? I don't know.
And then he does that thing where he talks real slow and quiet.
Yeah. He's not.
There's a lot of pauses.
Listen. We need a guy with a little bit more testosterone in his blood, like Cuomo. Breaking news. Yeah. You don't know what the hell side Cuomo's on when he gets to talking.
Or Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, or Anderson Cooper. I mean, come on, Anderson Cooper is one of the greats. I think Anderson Cooper is right next to my favorite journalist. What is his name? He died of throat cancer. His name is Peter Jennings.
He died of throat cancer?
Yeah, he died of throat cancer. Imagine that. You use your lungs and your vocal cords your whole life, and you die of throat cancer. Kind of reminds you of like the lawyer for O.J. Simpson who used his brain to get so high in the courts and then gets brain cancer. That sounds weird to me, but if it doesn't sound weird to you, I understand. But I know one thing we should never do is trust people with dreadlocks or white doctor coats. Don't, just give it some time. They're not wearing that coat to make you believe them, and they're not growing dreads to look like notable citizens, which they are. I don't disagree with dreadlocks, but if I lose my wallet, I'm gonna ask the dreadlock dude first. Like, hey, did you see a wallet anywhere, sir? Look like you might be into pocket picking, fucking, I don't know, purse snatching.
You have so many wild ideas.
No, they're more than ideas. They're things that are being implemented, but you know.
Oh,
Let me see. Yeah. What I'll title that.